The college football playoffs are finally here. So today we're going to look at 4 things that we're looking forward to with this weekend's matchup. And we're going to start off with Alabama versus Notre Dame. Michelle, what is the one thing you're looking forward to from Notre Dame's point of view?
On Notre Dame's side of things, I think the best thing it can do is try to keep pace with Alabama's prolific offense. Notre Dame's defense doesn't seem like it's going to be able to stop that offense. So the next best thing is to let quarterback Ian Book and the offense try and keep pace with Alabama. Alabama's defense has shown repeatedly that it can give up a lot of points, and Florida sort of laid the blueprint in the SEC championship game for how to do that. Now, Notre Dame just can't get into the same deficit that Florida did and try and climb its way back out. It needs to do everything it can, especially in the first half, to keep it close so that it still has a chance to win when the game is on the line at the end.
Yeah, my interesting thing to look at for Alabama is to remain focused. Like you said, versus Florida, we saw them kind of lose their ways on defense. Florida almost won that game. It was a super close SEC championship game. But one interesting fact that I found is that Alabama has yet to win the college football playoffs as the 1 seed. So if you're Alabama, you can't be looking at yourself as, oh, we're going to have an easy road to the championship. As the 1 seed, you have yet to win it all. So this is the first test to see if they're truly the number 1 team. If they can beat this Notre Dame team, which I think will happen, this would just set them up to be the first Alabama 1 seed to win the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I think that still at the end of the day, Alabama is the best team in the country, and I do think they will beat Notre Dame, whether that's a close game or a blowout game. I don't think it really matters. I think Alabama comes out on top no matter what.
Next game we're looking at is the 2 versus 3 seed, Clemson versus Ohio State. And I'm going to look at one interesting fact from Clemson. And it all starts with Dabo Swinney. He has talked a lot of junk about Ohio State in the past 2 weeks. After championship weekend, he had them ranked outside the top 10 and said that because they didn't play enough games, they shouldn't be in. So for Clemson, you kind of have to back up your coach's mouth. We know that the head-to-head rivalry isn't much a rivalry. It's one-sided, and Clemson has won the past 4 games that these two teams have met up. But if you're Clemson, you have to back up his mouth, and you have to prove that my coach is correct. And also, if you're Trevor Lawrence, how do you want to go out? Do you want to go out number 1 on top? Or do you want us to just remember what you did your freshman year, and that be kind of your legacy? Because he didn't win it last year, and he's yet to win a Heisman. So the only thing we really have for him is a surprising college football playoff victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of off of that, looking from an Ohio State perspective, it hasn't played very many games. Clemson has played almost twice as many games as Ohio State, and that's where I think Ohio State's big key here is consistency and rhythm, particularly in the passing game. The last time we saw Justin Fields and the Buckeyes take the field was against Northwestern. They had several players missing from that game, but Justin Fields did not have a great game. He threw for the fewest yards all season, 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. This time, hopefully, it's looking like Chris Olave, one of the best wide receivers on the team, will be returning for the playoff game, and that's a big help. But if Justin Fields and the passing game can't get going, the Buckeyes might not be able to turn to its running game with Trey Sermon or Master Teague picking up the slack like they have in the past, just because Clemson has one of the best rush defenses in the country. That just will put a lot of pressure on Ohio State to try and make sure that what happened last year in the playoff semifinal doesn't happen again. Honestly, at the end of the day, I still think we're headed toward Alabama-Clemson part 5 on this. It looks like Alabama is the best team in the country, and I think a lot of people would really like to see them go off against number 2 Clemson.
I got to agree with you. I think we're headed to another Alabama-Clemson rematch, and I think this one will prove who's been the best team the past 5 years, because pretty much the one time we didn't get a championship in the past 5 years was LSU when it wasn't Clemson or Alabama.
Thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. And before you go, can you do 2 quick favors for me? First, hit the like button, then hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll get an alert every time we have a new video, and then you can push aside whatever you're doing and watch more fun sports content. Also, you can check us out on our website, which is a cool place to hang out and read about sports. So thank you, and go sports!